Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be focus on your beauty, not your flaws. Well, I've got two emails that I'm going to go through with you. In the first email, the guy's really struggling. And in the second email, the guy was struggling, but since he changed his mindset and the way he looked at things, his life has completely changed for the better. So I got a quote that I wrote that I want to share with you before we get into the first email. And it says, what you focus on with your mind will tend to expand in your mind's eye. If you don't like the way you look, the way you talk, the way you think, or dislike yourself in general, you'll only cause other people to notice and focus on what you don't like about yourself. You will literally attract people who will match, mirror, and agree with what you don't like about you. However, if you focus on what you love about yourself, what your gifts, skills, and talents are, other people will notice them too, and you will attract others into your life who will magnify, appreciate, and accept the beauty you find within yourself. Before others will notice your beauty, you have to notice it first. So let's go ahead and jump right into this guy's email. He says, Dear Coach, I have two problems. Since Sunday, I'm back with my girlfriend, which I was together with only a few weeks during the summer, and I end up losing her to a bad boy, which showed me that I have to become a better man, which I did by facing up to life, focusing on my purpose, and becoming more assertive as a man. Me and my girlfriend, we passionately kiss one another, but haven't slept with each other because of my two problems, which correlated both of them together. Here's my first problem. He's number one. My biggest problem in life is that I have a muscle disease that causes them to go away. I am amyotrophian. Well, that's a big word I don't know how to pronounce. Sounds like some technical medical term. He says, because one doesn't see this, I dealt with it wrong all my life. I'm in my 30s now, and by hiding it from other people, and sometimes I also lied about it. But through you, I know that this is just the way I am, and I can deal with this problem. I have accepted it. But my question to you is, how should I communicate this to my girlfriend that she won't run away yelling? In the past, I had a girlfriend that I tried to communicate this to by taking her to a museum. Before entering it, I told her that we can pass the very long queue before the museum. So I took her hand and led her to the VIP entrance, and there I showed my handicap ID, and we entered the museum instantly. Since this moment, she never spoke a word to me again. Fuck her. Who cares? I was so shocked and irritated by feeling left alone and wondering how I could ever communicate this properly. It's not up to you to communicate or to explain yourself or apologize for you being the way you are. You are that way for a reason. Obviously, the Creator had an idea in mind and a reason why He gave you this particular physical attribute, if you will. And at the end of the day, if it doesn't bother you, it won't bother anybody else. You need to learn to have, it's like when I was a kid, especially like all through middle school and even in high school, I had freckles all over there, all over my arms, or on my legs, or on my back, or on my chest, or my face. I got teased relentlessly. Shells on the beach, connect the dots. I mean, I fucking heard that shit thousands of times. And when I was a kid, I was pretty self-conscious about it because I personally looked at it and said, oh, I must be ugly. There must be something wrong with me because I have so many freckles. And I mean, yeah, there's other people I know that have freckles, but they're not like covered all over. They're not like all over their whole entire body. But, you know, as I got older, women started saying, your freckles are really kind of cute. And I started noticing that, and it's like as I learned to love and accept myself and be comfortable in my own skin, my freckles became something that was unique to me. And so, you know, as far as this goes, as far as your physical attributes, it's not like some big deal because deep down, the way you're going about it is like, well, I've got to explain this and apologize for myself the way that I am, so you make a big deal out of it. And you know what? Some women aren't going to like that you have this physical ailment. Who cares? Move on. There's a guy's name is Sean Stevenson. You can Google him. And he's like about this tall. And his head is really big and his tongue is is much bigger than his mouth can handle. So like when he talks, his tongue kind of hangs out of his mouth, and his legs don't work, and he can't walk. And he's married to a very beautiful, attractive lady, all because he got to a place where he learned to love and accept himself. And so I mean, obviously, I don't know what your condition is like. I haven't lived with it. I had a friend who's quadriplegic, and he wasn't like that his whole life, but he got into a car accident. He was actually screwing his best friend's wife. She was driving, and he was passed out in the backseat of the car, and she ended up driving right through a stop sign or a red light, I can't remember which, and then somebody else was doing the same exact thing because they've been drinking, and the other car T-boned him, and he literally slid head first into the door, and it snapped his neck. And after that, he was a quadriplegic, and obviously the first couple of years were really difficult, and he's really pissed off the world and really mad because now his fingers are kind of scrunched up like this, and he has to write with a pen between his fingers like this, and he can't run around and do all the sports and things that he used to be actively involved in. But he just got to the place where he was just like, fuck it, this is who I am, there's nothing I can do about it. And obviously not everybody's going to want to hang out with somebody that's in a wheelchair, that's got a handicap, or that doesn't look right, or that has freckles, or has some kind of muscular ailment. But so what? You can't let little things like that bother you. You can't get attached to someone that you want you or want to be friends with, wanting to hang out with you, or wanting to want you sexually. You just can't let it bother you, because if you try to live your life according to other people's expectations, you're always going to be miserable. You're never going to be happy, because you're never going to be able to live up to them. It's like my mother used to say this all the time. You've probably heard me say it a few times in videos. And it's obviously one of the reasons why she used to say this shit all the time. You can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please all of the people all the time. Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to want to hang out with you. Not every woman is going to find you attractive. Not every woman is going to want to sleep with you that you want to sleep with. Not every person that you meet is going to be understanding about your physical ailment. There's going to be people that are going to point at you, and they're going to make fun of you, and they're going to talk all kinds of trash, and you know what? Ain't a fucking thing you can do about it. They can kiss your ass, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you just have to get to a place in life where you learn to accept yourself, and you learn to look at yourself and the gifts and the skills and the talents that you do have. Because the right people, they'll stick around and they'll appreciate you for you. And those that don't, they'll fall by the wayside. But if you're butthurt about this and you're upset about it, as you go through life, just like in the quote that I shared, that's what your brain is looking on. Your brain is now focused on evidence, looking for evidence to find reasons why there's something wrong with you, why you're not attractive, why you're not smart enough, why you don't have the skills, why you don't have enough talent, why you don't have a nice enough car, why you don't have nice enough clothes, whatever it happens to be. And when you're focusing on that and you're looking for that and your expectations are that things aren't going to work out for you, think about it. When you encounter other people, you've already presupposed that they're going to find something about you that they don't like. And guess what? You're going to naturally attract other people into your life who are going to match and mirror exactly the way you look at yourself. And all they'll continue to do is reinforce all these negative limiting beliefs that you have about yourself. You got to get to a place where you don't have any attachments to it. All you really need at the end of the day is to love and accept yourself. The person that you need love and acceptance from is the person you see in the mirror. And everybody else, they really don't fucking matter. Because that is the truth of it. And once you learn to love and accept yourself, you're not going to tolerate people in your life who put you down, who say you're weird, who say you got shells on the beach, or, oh, let me connect the dots with all your freckles. Why do you have so many freckles? Why do you look that way? Don't hang out with people like that. Don't associate with people like that. But if you're seeking their approval, you'll continue to want to be around those same kinds of people and hope that you can change their mind. There's 6.5 billion people on the planet. And people come in all shapes, sizes, colors. Everybody's different. There's no, even people that are identical twins, their personalities are different. They don't completely look exactly 100% alike. They're obviously very similar, but they're also very different. And that's the beauty. You are unique. You are a beautiful, unique, magnificent, divine being. And you're here for a reason. You're here because the Creator decided it was His will to place you here. And the sooner that you can accept that and embrace that and be grateful for it, the happier you're going to be. And the more you're going to attract other people into your life, you got to look at it as a numbers game. It's just a matter of encountering enough people and going out on enough dates instead of looking down upon yourself, just assuming, hey, this is a gift. You got to look at your physical condition as a gift. Not everybody's going to see it as such. It's just like the freckles that I have. Not every woman likes my freckles. Not every woman likes me with a shaved head. Some women see my picture and go, why don't you grow your hair back out? You look really good with longer hair. Well, I like my hair short. Why don't you shave your beard? You look really good with a clean shaven face. Well, maybe I like fucking growing it out this way. If you don't like it, I don't really fucking care. It's my life. It's my body. I like me the way I am. And people that don't, they can take a flying fucking roll in a donut. Because just like they say, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one and they all stink. He says, so my question to you is, how should I communicate this problem to my girlfriend and my surrounding friends, work, etc.? It's really none of their business. If it's something that you have maybe one of your arms is curled, I don't really understand the condition itself, but if it's not an issue to you, if you love yourself and you accept yourself, you're not going to be focused on, gee, how do I spring this problem on her and hopefully she'll still like me. It can't bother you. If you let it bother you, then guess what? It's going to give other people reason to think, oh, there's something wrong with you. He says, my other problem is that because I don't know how to handle this, I'm way out of shape right now. But I know when I take my girlfriend home, I know that she wants to have sex with me, and I want this too, and I know that she will blame me for it, and I will lose her if I don't make this happen. But I'm so ashamed of myself that I let this happen, that I let myself get so out of shape. The past does not equal the future. So what if you were fat and out of shape and unhealthy up until you watch this video? Who fucking cares? The past does not equal the future. The only thing that matters is what you do with this moment going forward. And he continues on. He says, I'm now on a diet. I go to a gym. I bought wrist and ankle weights. And since some days I make the great workouts from the iPhone app called Safari Fit, which I highly recommend. You're doing something about it. Getting in shape, it's going to take many months, maybe even a couple of years to get in really good shape. I mean, I'm in good shape. I ran 5.5 miles last night. But I'm not built like a fucking bodybuilder. I don't have a ripped six-pack abs and have my fucking veins popping out of my body. Because that's just not me. I'm in good shape. I'm strong as shit. I bench over 230 pounds. And I'm going to be 44 next month. And this is the way I am. I mean, I was a lot stronger when I was in my early 20s, but that stuff was really important to me. I was always taking amino acids and supplements and this and that and working out with weights 5-6 days a week and spending 2-3 hours in the gym every time I went. It's like, I don't want to work out that much. I go to the gym and I do maybe a half hour, 45 minutes max in the gym with weights. And that's all I want to do. I want to maintain my strength, and I'm stocky looking. I want to maintain my looks, and I'm happy with this. I don't need to be a certain way. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm happy with myself the way I am. And you got to understand, it's a process to get to where you want to be. Running 5.5 miles, it's like you've never run before. You're not going to go out and be able to run 5.5 miles. You might be able to run down to the stop sign or maybe to the end of your driveway, but you got to start somewhere. Big things have little beginnings. So it's like when you work out, it's a process. You're training your muscles. It takes time for the muscles to grow in place of the fat that you have in your body. And you got to look at it. There's a certain number of days in the week that you got to work out, and you got to take care of your body, and you got to find a way to fit that in your schedule. You've got to decide to put it in your schedule. I mean, nothing becomes real in your life unless you actually schedule it and then take action upon it. So as long as you're doing something about it, you got your ankle weights, you join the gym, you're eating better, it's a process. Maybe it takes you 6 months. Maybe it takes you a year. Maybe it takes you 2 years to get to where you really want to be. At least you're on that journey. At least you're doing something about it, because that's more than I could say for most people in this world. How do I know? Go look at the mall. Look how many fat and out of shape people there are walking around. Most people are like that. Most people have never seen the inside of the gym. And it's like when I look at the people I went to high school with. I went to a private Catholic high school. Went to school with a lot of really attractive girls and a lot of really good-looking dudes. And now all of them are fat and out of shape, and they look like hell in their 40s. And they all tell me that I look like I'm 15, 20 years younger. I take care of myself. I juice vegetables. I eat right. I do the best I can because I try to appreciate the gift of life for what it is. I try to appreciate my body and take care of it because it's the only one you got. If you're not in good health, if you're not in good shape, you're not going to feel good. That's why I went out and ran for 5.5 miles last night. I didn't really feel like it. I just want to, it's the holidays, I want to be a bum, just lay around and do nothing. But I forced myself to go out there and run. Why? Because it made me feel better. Physically, it made me look better. I could see it in my eyes. I could see it in my skin. Those are tangible results that you can see within a short period of time. You start putting better foods in your body. You start working out. You start removing toxins. Toxins are what causes people to get fat and out of shape and causes them to age. When you remove the toxins from your body over time, and that's a process in and of itself, once the toxins are gone, then your body can use the nutrients that you're getting to actually start building healthy blood and healthy cells. It's a process. You're way ahead of 97% of the other people out there that aren't doing jack shit about this. So pat yourself in the back. That's awesome, dude. You're making an effort. So he says, the question is, how should I deal with the problem that I am highly ashamed of my shape, and should I take her to bed? Fuck yeah, who cares? If the general stands at attention and you're ready to give her the old flash rocket, fucking go for it, dude. You can get hit by a bus tomorrow and it's all over. Then you're going to be at the pearly gates of heaven going, my girlfriend was ready to sleep with me, but, I decided to wait until I got in better shape, and, oh well, I got hit by a bus, so I missed that opportunity. Think about it. The amount of days you've been on this planet is getting longer, and the amount of days you got left is getting shorter. The only thing you can do is find a way to appreciate it, and you're doing that. You're taking care of yourself. You've got a girlfriend. That's more than a lot of guys that come to me. They either got rejected, or they got dumped, or their personal life is terrible, their social life is terrible. They're afraid to even talk to women. And look at you. You got a girlfriend. So what if you're out of shape? Obviously, it doesn't bother her if she's with you and if she's your girlfriend. So it's like, take her to bed and make love to her. Besides, for women, all of the nerve endings are all on the outside of her body anyways. So let's move on to the second guy's email. He says, hey coach, I'm a big fan of your work, and I recently finished your book about 4 days ago. I'm 43 and I have sole custody of my 7-year-old daughter. I'm a nurturing father and a school counselor. For a lot of my life, I haven't done well with women because of my strong feminine core. I recently crossed a huge barrier in my life, and my desire to pursue success and happiness became greater than my fear of pain. Remember, you've probably heard, I learned this from Tony Robbins 25 years ago. People will do more to avoid pain than they will do to gain pleasure. And most people never get to that place where they're like, their fear of pain, where they can overcome their fear of pain to go for what it is that they really want. I love what he says here. He says, I've recently crossed a huge barrier in my life, and my desire to pursue success and happiness became greater than my fear of pain. I've lost 35 pounds and I look great. I've set some other short to medium term goals with finances, and I'm working towards them. I am being intentional on exercising and developing my masculine core. I am attracted to strong women, but never had the skill set to get anywhere with them. I have one ace in the hole as far as I have a sense of humor, and I am a top 10% man. Before I even finished your book, I set a date with a successful businesswoman that owns several properties. On the date, I focused on my body language, exposing my core, having a list of interesting questions to lead the conversation. I did an article on that. Great pickup and first date questions, I think is what the topic of it was. I referenced that in my book. So that's, all throughout my book, I reference articles and videos that I've written, like pickup lines and other things that guys typically want to know. And if you feel like you don't have good questions that are interesting questions, I cover all that stuff in the book to give you a ton of ammunition, because every guy's different. Every guy's at a different place. That's why, you notice when I read all these different emails, you get all ranges of the spectrum, whether it's self-esteem issues or body issues or quality of life, purpose, just overcoming their fear of talking to women, or coming up with good, interesting things to talk about. And so whatever area you feel like you have a deficiency, I have something for you in my book that can help you give the tools that you need in order to be successful. This guy learned a few specific questions that are interesting topics that I talked about in the article, and he used them effectively, obviously. Having a list of interesting questions to lead the conversation, not freaking out when she just got up to dance, and also not following her around like a puppy. When she came back later, I asked her to dance and we had a great time. I have a second date with her this coming Friday, and this Monday I have a date with a beautiful, strong, confident cowgirl. She trains horses for a living and she's an inch taller than me, LOL. She's driving 43 miles into town to see me. That's awesome, dude. Good for you. You deserve, this is your birthright, man. You were put on this earth to have fun, to enjoy life, and to appreciate all of the gifts and blessings that go along with that. He says, the point of my message, which I hope you do a video on, is to just go for it. Repetition is the mother of skill. I have never dated more than one woman at a time in my life, and you have taught me how to improve my weaknesses and be confident with my strengths within just a few weeks. Thanks, Coach. Well, thank you for applying these things, because obviously, as I say it all the time, if you think I'm totally full of crap, just apply the things that I teach, and I promise you they will work for you. They will make your life better. And once you start feeling better and you start looking better because you're focusing on every area of your life that's important to you to improve, you're going to feel like a better, more confident, and more successful man. It's like if you change yourself, you're impacting the lives of everybody else that you're going to touch, because the happier you are, you're going to feel more comfortable. You're going to give off a much warmer, friendlier vibe. And guess what? More people are going to want to hang out with you and associate with you, because everybody loves being around other people that are happy, that are friendly, that are easygoing, easy to get along with, and that have interesting stories to tell. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website, and just follow the instructions for booking phone, Skype, or email coaching, whichever option is best for you. And I will talk to you soon.